Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and screen share with y'all. Okay, can everybody see that? The Lady Hornets parent meeting?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, what we're going to talk about. Obviously, we're going to talk about paperwork, all the things that the parents have to sign, have to fill out, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about the rest of summer and how practices are going to go. And then we're going to talk about how that's going to transition into the school year. We're going to talk about the expectations for players, which is also on the team contract. And then we're going to talk about the fees and equipment, as well as homecoming, and our September 12th tournament. And then we're going to talk about the need for volunteers. So we're going to try and cover all that. All right, so paperwork. Most of y'all, I think I have about half right now. Half of y'all have updated physicals and medical releases, which is perfect. All physicals have to be updated by July 5th. If you do not have an updated physical by July 5th, your player cannot play. They cannot step on the court. That is not my rule. That is not even Carter's rule or Knox County's rule. That's TSSAA rule, okay? So we have to have updated physical and medical release by July 5th, which is the end of dead period. So you'll have this whole 2-week period next week to go get those physicals done. Concussion training and release. I will be sending home paper packets tomorrow. One of those paper packets is about 3 pages. 2 of the pages are information about what a concussion is and how to identify a concussion. And then the 3rd paper is a release saying that you understand the signs and symptoms of concussions and that you will help me in watching your kid to see if they have any signs or symptoms for a concussion, as well as the return to play guideline. This is something that as a coach I have to go through every year. Every year I have to be concussion training certified. I have to do AED certification. I have to do CPR certification. And that's something as a parent that you guys have to be made aware of as well. The 3rd piece of paper that you guys will turn in is the media release. It's pretty simple. Basically, if anybody wants to take pictures of the girls or do an article about the girls or video the girls for the news or any kind of media like that, they have to have a media release paper. Last year we had 2 or 3 articles done about the Lady Hornets in general. Prep Extra came out and took some pictures. I think the Knoxville News Sentinel came out and took some pictures. So there's a good chance that we're going to end up in the paper again this season. So we need those media releases. Insurance notification. This will be another paper that your daughter gets tomorrow at practice. It's basically a paper stating that you are aware that Knox County has an insurance policy on your child. You pay a fee for this insurance policy. And if your child is hurt during, practice or a game or something on Knox County property, your primary insurance would cover first, but then the Knox County insurance policy would cover, help cover anything that your primary insurance didn't cover. This is something, fortunately, I've only had to use one time in my career at Carter. And technically it wasn't for me, it was for a girl who played softball. But we do know that Knox County insurance pays for things like surgeries and x-rays and all those kinds of things if something were to happen to your daughter. So that's a very important paper. The next paper you're going to get tomorrow is the team contract. This is basically about team rules for your child as well as rules for the parent. How they should behave at school, how they need to behave during a game, exemplifying good sportsmanship, keeping up their grades, all that kind of stuff. And then the last piece of paper they're going to get tomorrow is the medical profile for our athletic trainer. Our athletic trainer is Ashley Wojnowski. I don't know. It's Ashley W. She is an excellent athletic trainer, and she splits her time between us, football, and soccer, which are her fall sports. You will probably see her at the games, and if something were to happen to your child at the game, Ashley keeps a medical profile with her because the Knox County physicals, those get scanned and put in a computer and then put in a file somewhere in the office where they stay for 3 years until we can officially shred them. But the medical profile is something that actually stays with Ashley. So that way, if something happens, she doesn't have to go digging through somebody's office. She has it right there. So that way she has quick and easy information for your child on how to get a hold of somebody if something happens. All right, so that is all the paperwork that is going to come home with your child tomorrow, except for the physical and the medical release, because I already passed out those a couple of weeks ago. If your child does need a copy of the physical and the medical release, let me know. I can get you an extra copy. But all of those things are going to come home with your kid tomorrow. So please make sure when they get home from practice, ask them, hey, where's your team paperwork? Because we all know they get left in the back of the car, and then somebody spills a Wendy's soda on them or something like that. And, anyway, but those will all come home with you tomorrow. And then if you can fill out that paperwork over dead period and bring that back to me on our first practice back, that would be awesome. Are there any questions about the paperwork?
No.
Okay, we're all good on that. All right. Summer practices and how that's going to transition into school. So obviously after tomorrow is dead period. Dead period is June 22nd through July 5th. So that means absolutely no volleyball or no contact with any players for the next 2 weeks. Go enjoy your dead period, stay in shape. Don't be a couch potato, but no volleyball, or at least organized volleyball. After dead period, practices will be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 11, just like they are, for the month of July. So for the whole month of July, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 to 11, okay? Unless for some reason Coach Ivy and I both can't be there and we have to cancel, which I'm not foreseeing that, it will be every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now, school for me starts on August 3rd. I go back a week before the kids do, of course, pending the coronavirus. And when I go back on August 3rd, my work day will be from 8 to 4. So that week from August 3rd to, I think it's 7th, we will have practice after school, even though technically the kids aren't in school yet. And then also that week we have a scrimmage against PAL, which is at 5:30. So I think that's Thursday. So that's the first week of August. And then once school starts, practice will be every day after school from 4 to 6, except on Wednesdays. We end 30 minutes early on Wednesday, just in case anybody wants to head out for church or youth group or something like that. And then, of course, if we have a game, we won't have practice. Any questions about practices or anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right. School expectations for players. These are all written in the team contract, and by signing the team contract, you're agreeing to adhere to all these expectations. So all players will maintain a C average in all of their classes. So all classes, their core classes and their elective classes, they need to maintain a C average. Of course, you can hold them to higher expectations, but my expectation and the TSSAA expectation is that they maintain a C average. Players will carry a water bottle with them to and from class to stay hydrated, okay? That's very important. Make sure that they have a water bottle. At the school last year, we actually updated all of the water fountains to where they have the cool, fancy water bottle refiller. So it's very easy to fill up a water bottle in the hallways. So make sure they have one and they're carrying it and staying hydrated. On home game days, we ask that the players dress up and look nicer than a regular school day. So no leggings or sweatpants. I know Callie is cringing right now, but wear, I guess, what you would call church clothes, business casual, a blouse and some nice dress slacks, a cute dress, maybe an appropriate romper, something that is more dressy than what they normally wear to school, okay, on home game days. And then players will maintain appropriate behavior in and out of the classroom. Any conduct violations will be dealt with by school administrators and coaches. Multiple offenses will result in expulsion from the team. So if for some reason your daughter gets in trouble at school, obviously there will be school consequences, but there will also be volleyball consequences. That consequence may be, running several laps, or it may be sitting out of a game. And of course, that's up to Ivy and I. And we will determine, based on the offense. Thankfully, we really haven't had to deal with this because we have a lot of really good players. But just keep that in mind, that any school offenses will also be dealt with on the volleyball team. All right. Any questions about expectations?
Nope.
All right. Okay, fees and equipment. So this is different this year, okay? So for this year, the total fee will be $260, okay? That is $60 for Knox County Schools insurance. So that's insurance that does not go to the school, that does not go to the volleyball team. It goes straight to Knox County to cover that insurance policy that we already talked about. And it must be on a separate check, okay? There will be $150 for team gear. Now, that's more this year because we're also getting more gear. Normally, we just get 2 pair of spandex and a t-shirt. But this year, after talking at the end of season parent meeting last year, several parents wanted to get the full package. So your daughter will have shoes, socks, spandex, knee pads, and a t-shirt. That's 2 pair of spandex, a green and a black, and 2 pair of socks as well, a black and a green. So that's quite a bit of gear. It's all Nike brand. So if you guys know anything about Nike, you know that you can't get all of that for $150. That's just what we're asking you guys to pay. And they get to keep all of this gear. And for those of you that have underclassmen, freshmen, and sophomores, we're in a Nike contract, and we will be wearing Nike for a while. So the gear that they use this year for this season, as long as it's not worn out or holey, they can use it again next year, and it just kind of keeps building. Then there's $50. That covers tournament fees, school equipment, and league fees. So you guys probably noticed I sent home a schedule about a week and a half ago. And like on the Sunsphere tournament, there's a $375 fee. Well, obviously, that fee comes out of our Carter account. That's what the $50 tournament fee is for. If every player pays $50, we're able to cover those tournament fees. If the net breaks and we need to fix something, or we need to buy 10 more balls, that's what that $50 is for, okay? All checks need to be made payable to Carter High School, okay? And make sure if you write a check that you put your athlete's name and the designation in the memo line. It's really important that you put your athlete's name down there, because a lot of times our athletes don't have the same last name as us. Okay, things happen. Designation, we need to know where that's going, because obviously you'll be writing 2 checks, one for 60, one for 300. We need to know which one's going where. Once the books reopen in July, all fees can be paid online. And Miss Eastridge is our bookkeeper, and she sets that up for us. And as soon as she gives me the go-ahead, I will let you guys know, so you can pay online. And you can pay any school fee online. So like when we come back in the fall and they have a $10 science fee or a $50 band fee or whatever, you can pay all of those fees online. It's really easy and kind of convenient. So, are there any questions about fees? Nope. Okay.
Nope.
All right. So, going on. Okay. Homecoming in our September 12th tournament. So this year, our homecoming candidate and family is Brielle Norman, and her parents are Ivy and Garrick. You will see Ivy a lot, obviously, because Ivy is the assistant coach. Garrick appears every once in a while, and he's very tall, kind of quiet. He'll be in the back, but they are a homecoming candidate. Currently, homecoming is set for October 9th. Wait, did I say 10-9? Yeah, that's October, right? Yeah, okay. I just forgot all of a sudden. But October 9th against Central, Okay. So we have 3 home football games before the central game. So the central game would be the 4th home football game. So we have 3 games before that, August 21st, September 4th, and October 2nd. Now, looking at our schedule, the 21st will probably be a no-go because we have a tournament that day. I will obviously talk to Ivy and talk to the girls and see what they want to do. Because like we have in the past split up and did half of, like the JV team worked the stand and then the varsity team went and played. But that'll be completely up to Ivy and Brielle and what they want to do. So the 821 may be out. Now, obviously we use homecoming funds. We sell concessions, we sell t-shirts, we sell, whatever to raise money for the team. How homecoming works, if you win homecoming, if you're the club or sport that raises the most money, you keep 90% of what you raise and 10% goes to Carter Athletics. If you don't win, if you place anything but first, so second, third, all the way down to whatever, 17th, then you keep 85% of what you raise. So it's not like it's a big cut if we win versus if we don't win. And all that money, in order to have fundraisers like our volleyball tournament, we have to participate in homecoming. And all of that money, like I said, goes into a pot for Carter Athletics, or at least the 10 to 15% that they keep. So it's still going back to the volleyball program. It just might go to the volleyball program in a different way. For example, a couple of years ago, they replaced all the basketball goals with electronic goals that raise up and down instead of the old crank system. The volleyball team paid for one. Boys and girls basketball paid for one each. I think the alumni fund paid for one, and then Carter Athletics paid for one. So, the goals raising something that benefits the volleyball team, because if y'all don't remember, we had to have this old hand crank system with the drill, and somebody was going to get hurt. It was awful. But anyway, so that's what homecoming is. Our biggest fundraiser, and for those of you that played middle school volleyball at Carter, you will know about this, is the varsity tournament on September 12th. This is an all hands on deck, I need you to black out this date now event. I need every parent, every player, everybody there, okay? We are hosting a tournament. We have 16 teams coming. So 16 high school volleyball teams will be descending on Carter High School and Carter Middle School. That's 4 more teams than last year. So think about how big our team is and all the kids and all the parents that come with it. Now times that by 16, that's how many people are going to be there. Hopefully that's what we want. At this tournament, obviously we're going to be playing volleyball. We're going to be running concessions. We're going to be selling t-shirts. We're going to be working the gate. We're going to have bathrooms to clean. We're going to have parking lots to pick up. I mean, a whole, everything that goes into hosting an event like this. So I need all parents and players to be ready to, work and help on that day. Whoever our lead parent is this year will be coordinating, shifts for the parents. So that way you don't have to stay there all day. The girls will be there all day though. So just black it out. All the girls will be there. Last year we got there at 7, and I think I closed the gym door at like 7:36. So about 12 and a half hours. It's not too bad. We raised, I think it was like something close to $4,500. So it's one really long day, but a pretty big payout for our team. Any questions about homecoming or the varsity tournament?
No.
Okay. All right. Last but not least, parent volunteers. Like I said, last season, Mary Powell was our lead parent volunteer and she coordinated all of our volunteer efforts. I did not want to volunteer Mary Powell if she did not want to do it again this year. But we do need a lead parent volunteer, and that lead parent coordinates all of our volunteer efforts and, gets the right people signed up for shifts at every home game and things like that. And make sure that the same people aren't doing it every home game. So for every home game, we need parents to obviously run the gate. We need parents to monitor concessions. And then we need at least 2 parents at the score table. The score table has a variety of things that need to be done. There's the VolleyRight software, which is the scorekeeping of the game, and that's done on the computer or the iPad. There's also the libero tracking, which is done on paper. And then there is the actual scoreboard, somebody operating the scoreboard, which is super easy to do. And that's something that's probably the easiest to teach to people. But we have all of these people that need to be working during a game. Also, for varsity games, we have to have adult line judges. So we have to have people that are over the age of 18. For JV, it's not a big deal because anybody can line judge. So a lot of times the varsity girls will help run the JV games. But for the varsity games, it has to be adults and they have to be over the age of 18. So we need quite a few volunteers every time we have a home game. It's also really important that we have as many people learning how to use the VolleyRight scorekeeping software. That way we can rotate these people out and they don't feel like they're constantly having to do the same thing. When we go to tournaments, we have to provide our own scorekeeper and our own scorekeeping system. So we have to take the iPad with us and be ready to keep score. So we have to have people that know how to do this. Any questions about that? Okay.
No.
That's all I had that I wanted to talk about. If you guys have questions or things that you want to discuss, now would be a time to open that up. Or if there's anything that I missed, now's the time to ask about it. So, anything?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Let's see. Hold on. I'm just going to write down everybody that's here real quick. So I got Morgan, I got Allie, I got Katie, I got Ava, I got Cal, I got Destiny, I got Josie. I got Sammy. I have Sarah. And I have Briley. Did I miss anybody that's on that I'm not seeing? Okay. Oh, I got Lindsay. You're on. I already put you down. Sorry, Lindsay. I already put you down. Okay. All right. If you guys don't have any questions, that's all I had. Like I said, your child will be getting a packet of paper tomorrow. So please make sure you ask them about it when they get home from practice. If you have any questions about fees or anything like that, please do not let fees hinder you. Like I said, we were very successful in our tournament last year, so we have fees to cover if your child needs to be covered. If you can only pay half of the fee, we can easily cover the other half. So don't let money be an issue. Just come talk to me about it, and we'll work something out. Okay.
You send Josie's packet home with Ava.
What did you say, Marsha?
Can you send Josie's packet home with Ava?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. Cool.
I've been playing phone tag with the guy about the banners and stuff. I need to get Lindsay's to send Callie their numbers because I can talk to her mom. But we're not just looking at senior banners. They will actually do a team banner. So they'll take pictures of the whole team, which would work for team pictures also.
Okay.
And the way I understand, he can do individual for everybody, not just the seniors if we want them to.
Okay.
So that's always, he has to do individuals of everybody to make the team picture, the team banner. So they would have that option too. So we'll let everybody know more about that stuff.
Yeah, that might be a good option too, because I know Life Touch is, well, They always like to do our pictures at the very end of season, and then we don't even get the pictures until like December.
Yeah. Well, this guy, the way that he'll do it, you actually get the choice of your picture too. You'll see it before you.
Oh, that'd be
You
awesome.
know, like you're paying for a picture, you don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, I didn't really like the Life Touch pictures last year because like how the guy did it, he like blacked out the background, so it made everybody look really dark.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did that, but anyway, okay, awesome.
So I'll try to sit down and make a volunteer list. Go ahead and get it made up, and that way when we come back from break, we can put it out on the thing or whatever, and that way people can go ahead. Because I know everybody's schedules and dates are crazy.
Yeah, so you're gonna be the lead parent volunteer again, right?
Sure, why not?
There we go.
Chloe's not playing this year, so that gives us more free time to,
Yeah.
to be there too. Because what a lot of people don't realize is people start showing up at the gym at 5 after 4, 5:10 after on home games, and so we have to have somebody there at the gate. And technically, our kids aren't supposed to be at the gate by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So people start coming in from the other teams right away.
They always get there super early.
Yeah.
So.
And last year we fed the girls. And so we're going to try to get that organized again, like we did last year. We fed them for all the home games, so that way they could go in the cafeteria. They didn't have to worry about trying to get food and come back. So we'll get that all situated too. I'll make a list of the home games and whoever wants to. We did it where if churches want to, like Lions Creek fed them one time, and then there was a set of grandparents that fed them one time, and then once a couple of us parents went together and fed them. So it's however we want to do it, but we'll get all that stuff together so that way it'll come home. That way we'll have it as soon as they come back in July, so everybody can get prepared better for it.
Well,
Rachel, do you have more schedules? I don't think Morgan got a schedule. Can you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. I think I have 4 or 5 extra copies in my bag. And if I run out, I can just run up to the office and make make sure Morgan gets one.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
No problem. All right. Anything else? Okay. Well, I think that was a pretty successful first ever Zoom parent meeting. So I really hope that we don't have to do this again, but you never know. So we'll see.
Sure don't.
Yeah. That's all I got for y'all. If you have any questions, does everybody have my cell number that needs my cell number? If not, I can send it out in the group chat so that way, the girls have it, obviously. But if you need it, just have one of the girls share it with you or shoot me a text or something like that. Wait, shoot me. Anyway, all right. We're free to go. So.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.